Hi everyone, good evening, good morning, or good afternoon, depending on where you are located at. Okay, if you are watching this on YouTube, B Equals Happiness YouTube channel, please feel free to click on the subscribe button as well as the bell notification so that you get notified every time a video goes up. And also, please feel free to go to Oh Happiness Facebook page and click the like and follow button. It's our nest for all things oils, wellness, and happiness. We have a lot of resources and classes there. And please join our From Chaos to Courage Moms Rising Up private Facebook group. It's a free group. It's also open to non-moms. Yeah. So there, I would like to introduce myself. This is the second week we are doing this daily 8:15 p.m. Manila time habit. But for tonight, I just came from a meeting, so I'm a bit late. So hi, for those who don't know me yet, I am Abbie Valle-Selga and I help struggling career women or men rise from chaos to courage without losing your mind and identity, because I used to be in that same boat until we made the decision to live more intentionally. There. So last week we talked mostly about motherhood. And this week I'm going to talk about another important topic. It's actually a partner topic with motherhood, which is wifehood or having a partner. And for tonight's topic, it's about how I survived the early days of motherhood without going crazy. A lot of moms could totally relate that it's crazy. It's crazy to be a mom, especially if it's your first time. So we only have one son for now. He is 4 years old already. So I had a very delicate pregnancy in 2016. That's why I was on complete bed rest my whole pregnancy. So I was fortunate enough to be allowed to work from home. So I am used to working from home. I know that a lot of people had to adjust, but I didn't have that learning curve because I've been working from home for quite some time before I retired from the corporate world just this year. So going back to how I survived the early days of motherhood, it was really about having a very supportive partner. So I am very, very grateful to hashtag Architect Husband JS for being there for me. That is why I am so, so proud of the single moms out there. Kudos to you all, because going through pregnancy itself, not even after giving birth, just the pregnancy itself, I know how difficult it is. I don't know how I would have survived if it weren't for my husband, who, because I was on bed rest, who took care of everything, the household, my food. He made sure I ate well. He made sure I was healthy. He made sure I wasn't walking and straining myself. But the early days of motherhood is a different story altogether, and it was also very, very challenging. I survived it primarily because of my husband, and that ang galing. That's when I realized that's why God really wants us to have partners when we raise children. This has nothing to do with being a single mom, etc. Or I, like I've mentioned, I find that single moms are very, very brave, and I really, really admire your courage for that, because being a mom in itself is hard. What more if you don't have anyone else to help you with? So I'm grateful for my husband for being there since day zero. He's been very supportive since my pregnancy, and all the more after giving birth. In fact, he was the one. He really prepared everything. When I didn't know I was on labor already, so my pain tolerance was. So it's for another story, I guess. Next time I'll share it with you in detail. But I have a very high pain tolerance, so I didn't know that I was on labor already. It was just a routine checkup, and the OB-GYN told me that I was already 2 centimeters. And that's when I actually asked Panga, I asked if I could eat first for this life, like if I could eat first before being admitted to the hospital. It was my sister, hi to my Ate Lani. It was my sister who accompanied me because my husband was at work. So we really didn't have time to, I mean, of course, the baby bag was prepared already and all that. But we really didn't have time anymore to prepare much. So it was really my husband who took care of everything. While I was in the hospital, I had like more than 12 hours of labor. Um, he was the one who he prepared the home, he prepared the bedroom, etc. He prepared everything, and so, it's just unfortunate that in the hospital that I gave birth in, it's not allowed. Partners are not allowed to be inside the delivery room. So he was just outside. He didn't sleep as well. But after giving birth, it was so difficult. I was also breastfeeding. I was it was you'll really go crazy. So I didn't have postpartum depression, thank God, but the emotions are really high when you've just given birth. A lot of uncertainties, a lot of confusion as well. We didn't know if we were doing the right thing, especially if you're a first time parent. um, I was emotionally unstable, honestly, because I was always crying. I wasn't diagnosed with any depression whatsoever, but I found myself that I was always crying. In fact, my husband went crazy over it because if he were to be late just for around 5 or 10 minutes, because he's supposed to be home around, let's say, 5:30, because the work the their work in this site would, because he's an architect, would finish at around 5. So I know I've computed that he should be home by 5:30, and if he goes late, I would already cry, which wasn't me. That's not my personality, because I don't cry a lot. But yes, after giving birth, it was, my emotions were just heightened. I would tell him how come he preferred not going home early, even if it was just a few minutes delayed, even if he got home a few minutes late lang. So that was it. He was just very, very supportive. Uh, I can't imagine being married to someone who didn't care about my emotions or my mental state. So it's crucial for moms to have supportive partners. So if should you decide to have children, it's very, very important that you choose wisely. Okay, I mean, if you could really gauge that's actually one of the reasons also, but that's for a different topic. I really saw him as someone I could raise children with. So from the start, I knew that he's that kind of person, and I knew that I could raise a family with him. So it was very important, and it was proven when we had our son. So that's number one. Having a very supportive partner is crucial in your survival in the early days of motherhood, because of all the exhaustion, of all the heightened emotions. That's so important that you have an anchor. And of course, your family is also very important, which brings me to my second point. It takes a village to raise a child. Literally, it's so true. I've proven that when I became a mom, especially in the early days. In fact, when we arrived home from the hospital, I just stayed there for around 2 days. I think I just wanted to rest after giving birth. It was a normal delivery, and our son was really big. He was, I think, 8.4 pounds. So he was a huge baby, and I delivered him by a normal delivery. But I had gestational hypertension. So I actually originally wanted water birth, or, all natural birth without any medications whatsoever. But then our son's health was at risk because I had gestational hypertension, so I couldn't do it. So yes, I had epidural. So my your family, or if your family is not available, a support group is very, very important in the early days of motherhood. I remember it was my sister again. When we arrived home from the hospital the first night, it was actually me and my sister in the bed with our son, because I was breastfeeding, and I wasn't sure of what position to sleep at. I was so scared. I even didn't bathe our son myself for the first 3 months. It was my husband who bathed him, or my mom, because I was just so scared. I had that inexplicable fear when I was a new mom. So community really is important. Your support group is very important. I would not have survived if it wasn't also for my mom. She was the one who every single day she would go to our house. So congrats to all the lolas out there, to all the grannies and granddads. I can't explain the love that you extend to your grandchildren. Um, every single day, my mom would come to our house in the morning, right before my husband would go to work. And then she would help bathe Jessie. She would help prepare everything. She would clean the house. We didn't have helper. We didn't have ayaya as well until this day. So we are very, very hands on. My mom would come over and then cook and also clean the house, wash our son's clothes or Jesse's clothes, etc. So she was just very, very hands on, and a lot of family and friends. They're just so happy for you. We've been receiving all of these gifts, visitations, etc. That's why I can't imagine the parents now. I just applaud you guys for choosing to raise a family during this pandemic, because it's just so difficult, and I admire your braveness, because motherhood, especially early motherhood during normal times, is difficult as it is. What more with all these circumstances, right? And then people couldn't visit you, and that's very, very important, that you get to spend time with your loved ones. And last but not the least, what really helped me survive the early days of motherhood without going crazy, was getting closer to God. Um, I am an Iglesia Ni Cristo member, and praying is very, very important to us. And I got closer to Him by I just all my fears. I just gave them all up to Him, and in fact, I was even addicted to praying. My mom would say, "Wait, who are you? What are you doing? You're." 'Cause- because at first, even just leaving Jessie in the bedroom, and I would go to the restroom, I would whisper a prayer, because I was so scared of, I forgot what disease was that, or what condition was that. But there are babies who would die from sleep. There are babies who die from sleep. There are babies who just will stop breathing. So I just couldn't fathom what would happen to us if that were to happen. So I was so paranoid in that sense. During the early days of motherhood, that I would pray for everything. When he was breastfeeding, was I doing it correctly, etc. So it was just so difficult. So yes, motherhood is difficult, but it's possible to survive it if you have your survival kit with you, which includes your partner, regardless of what partner you prefer, your community or your support group. That's very, very important. Also, your relationship to God. Um, Fear of the unknown is real, and I don't think I would have survived, or we would have survived to this day, if we didn't just leave everything up to Him. And that is all for today. I would just like to share with you how I survived the early days of motherhood without going crazy. So those top three things, because the list is a long one, but I'm just sharing with you the top 3 things. So again, I invite you to join our free Facebook group, From Chaos to Courage, Moms Rising Up. It's a free group. Soon we will be sharing with you how we were able to survive, and also thrive in our lives. So we really used to live chaotic lives, especially me. I can speak for that because I am not a domesticated person. But now we live more intentionally, and mindset has a lot to do with it. So mindset is not woo-woo, okay? So it's even in the Bible, your thoughts are very, very powerful. Next is, again, if you're on Facebook, feel free to follow Oh Happiness Facebook page. And on YouTube, don't forget to click subscribe and the bell notification for B Equals Happiness channel. And that is all. Thank you so much. Have a great day. Bye.